In a television studio, shows Phil Hartman and Norm Macdonald sitting in chairs. Hartman. Hello, I'm Hill Hartman, and welcome to this season's third installment of SNL's Crazy Critics, where one of our in-house critics critiques the last SNL episode. Joining us for this installment is none other than former SNL cast member Norm Macdonald. Norm, welcome to the program. Macdonald. Pleasure to be here, Hartman, you know. Happy Halloween. Hartman. Happy Halloween indeed. Now, Norm, what did you think of the cold open? Macdonald. Well, it was refreshing to see SNL poke some fun at President Biden, you know. I feel like they've kind of gone easy on him so far in his first term. But they let him and his crazy dog have it here. And I thought Mikey did a real fine job with it, you know. Glad they found someone other than James to play him, so that they can have Mikey's Biden go head-to-head with James's Trump next year during election season. And I like the line where Biden said a lot of his closest friends are ghosts. Being a ghost myself, I appreciated the shout-out. And it was funny how they brought up new speaker Mikey Johnson's adopted black son. But they shied away from the Woody Allen implications with Johnson's wife. Anyway, the riveting cameo stole the show as none other than Christopher Walken made a cameo as the spirit of Halloween. More cowbell indeed. More cowbell indeed. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, Fred Armisen, Mick Jagger, Lady Gaga, and now Christopher Walken. SNL has been really heavy-handed with their cameos this season. Makes me think I may even get a call. Hartman. Except that you're dead, Norm. Macdonald. That's right. Hartman. What did you think of Nate Bargatze's monologue? Macdonald. I thought it was great, you know. Very funny. Him being from the 1900s. Donkeys doing high jumps. People boxing orangutans. There's some very funny stories from those pre-internet days. And reading is the key to smart. From one comic who doesn't read to another, I thought that was a great line. Hartman. Very good. And what did you think of the sketch Chef's Show? Macdonald. I thought it was a very funny sketch, you know, where it was a soul food cooking competition between Nate and Eggo, with Keenan and Punky as the judges, with the idea being that, of course, the black contestant was going to win, only for the white chef to surprisingly cook the better soul food. As a white soul myself, I couldn't have been more proud. You could say it gave me white pride. Hartman. I don't think white pride is any longer appropriate to have ever since Adolf Hitler. What did you think of the cameo by Top Chef host Pam Delakshi? Macdonald. Well, I'm not familiar with her, but I appreciated her large cans, you know. I'd like to cook those up if you know what I mean. Hartman. Moving on, what did you think of the video Hallmark Horror? Macdonald. I thought it was a funny spoof on those god-awful Hallmark movies where the love interest of the pretty lady was a psychotic killer. I just wish they had shown him finish the job and cut her up into little pieces. Hartman. You wish they had shown Chloe get cut up into little pieces? Macdonald. Well, they could have used a stunt double or something. It didn't have to actually be Chloe. Hartman. What did you think of the next sketch, Washington's Dream? Macdonald. Well, I'm a bit of a history buff, you know, so I thoroughly enjoyed the premise of George Washington with his troops, fighting for their own country to have their own weights and measures. And when Keenan asked what would be the new country's take on people of color, General Washington glossed over and continued talking about weights and measures. And he ignored Keenan 2 more times. It was hilarious. Hartman. Don't you think the jokes with Keenan were a bit racist? McDonald. I sure do. And by golly, that's why I love them so. Hartman. Okay. How about the video Lake Beach? McDonald. You know, I thought this was a very funny video, making fun of Southerners, and they made fun of that asshole Dave Grohl. They even got his hand cut off. Good luck playing guitar now, you good-for-nothing hillbilly. Hartman. I don't think the video made fun of Dave Grohl. He was in on the joke and playing a character. McDonald. I don't think so, Fartman. They were definitely sticking it to that asshole, Dave Grohl. Hartman. How about the next sketch, Trick or Treating? McDonald. This was a very funny Sarah Sherman-driven sketch where Sarah portrayed SAG President Fran Drescher and shit all over her. Not unlike what I used to do back in the 90s. Hartman. Excuse me? McDonald. Generally, I'm not into fecal play, but Fran was very persuasive. And back when I dated her for a spell, she used to insist that I shit all over her face, which I did with aplomb. Hartman. Good God. Anyway, how about the Foo Fighters' performance of their song Rescue? McDonald. How the hell did Grohl regrow his hand back so quickly? It was clearly cut off when they were making fun of him in the Lake Beach video. Hartman. Again, they weren't making fun of Grohl. He was portraying a character in the video. McDonald. I'm still not sold. Anyway, I was distracted during the performance by Grohl having both his hands, so I don't have much of a critique. Hartman. Very well. What did you think of Weekend Update? McDonald. You know, I used to be on Weekend Update. Hartman. We know, Norm. McDonald. Just making sure. Hartman. So what did you think of this installment? McDonald. Well, it was great. Some great political jokes, gay bars, and returning Meghan Markle to Kenya. And Sarah was great as always as Colin's agent, J.J. Gordon. But you know what it was missing from Weekend Update, don't you? Hartman. What's that? McDonald. Well, me, by Jiminy Cricket, me. And Frank Stallone. Hartman. Note to self, don't have Norm Macdonald on SNL's Crazy Critics again. Anyway, what did you think of the next sketch, Airplane? McDonald. It was very funny, but it was false advertising. Hartman. How so? McDonald. It's called Airplane. Where's Kareem? Peter Graves being a pedophile and Leslie Nielsen. Hartman. Surely you can't be serious. McDonald. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. And I'm being asked by the producer, Juris Dr. King, to mention that the sketch involved two lawyers arguing about whether a lawyer is the second best job after doctor, and that was a secret message to Juris Dr. King. All in all, it was a funny sketch, except that cretin Dave Grohl came back out with both his hands, mind you, and ruined the whole thing. Hartman. You have an unreasonable hatred for Dave Grohl. What gives? McDonald. He broke up my favorite band's Nirvana by getting Kurt Cobain to Hartman. I'm going to cut you off before you say something unforgivably offensive. And we'll just skip the Foo Fighters' second performance so we can avoid any further unnecessary shitting on Dave Grohl. McDonald. I only shit on Fran Drescher. Hartman. Finally, what did you think of the Please Don't Destroy video, Dog Food? McDonald. It was a very funny video where John and Martin were eating dog food, much to the chagrin of Ben. But you know what the video could have used? Hartman. What's that? McDonald. Seen that dog Dave Grohl eat some shit. That son of a bitch. Hartman. On that note, dead from the earth, we're not alive. It's Saturday Not Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jen Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Denitra Vance, and with many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Isaac Hayes, and your host, Richard Roundtree. Everybody, Richard Roundtree. Applause, applause, applause. Shows Roundtree on stage who says, thank you, thank you. Sorry for those of you who were expecting Matthew Perry, but this show refused to give me the shaft. Speaking of which, I was an actor best known for my portrayal of Private Detective John Shaft in the Shaft franchise. Applause, applause, applause. Roundtree. But that's not all I was known for, as I was also known for my features in several TV series, including Roots, Generations, and Desperate Housewives. And now that I'm dead, I'm trying to separate my legacy from just being known for Shaft. Chris Farley and John Belushi come out on stage. Farley. Who's the black private dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks? Belushi. Shaft! Farley. You're damn right. Roundtree. Fellas, what are you doing? Farley. Who is the man that would risk his neck for his brother man? Belushi. Shaft! Farley. Can you dig it? Roundtree. Guys, I'm trying to ensure that my legacy is more than just Shaft. Farley. Who's the cat that won't cop out when there's danger all about? Belushi. Shaft! Farley. Right on. Roundtree. Fellas, I was also in Roots, Generations, and Desperate Housewives. Farley. They say his cat Shaft is a bad mother. Belushi. Shut your mouth. Farley. But I'm talking about Shaft. Belushi. Then we can dig it. Roundtree. Fellas, I also had a theatrical career. I portrayed boxer Jack Johnson in the Negro Ensemble Company's production of The Great White Hope. Farley. He's a complicated man, but no one understands him but his woman. Belushi. John Shaft. Roundtree. You fellas finally done? Farley. Yes, Mr. Shaft. Belushi. John Shaft. Roundtree. Okay then, well, despite my long and varied career, I guess I'll always be remembered as Shaft. But hey, not a bad way to be remembered. Farley and Belushi. You're damn right. Roundtree. We have a great show tonight. Isaac Hayes is here, so you'll get to hear him instead of these two knuckleheads play the theme from Shaft. We'll be right back.